I'm going to present the report, political report about Kadyrov's regime in Chechnya. I believe it's became a very dangerous political regime for Russia, for the world, because the Russian government actually lost the control.
Russians are not the enemy. They're not. The regime is. It's also in our self-interest, not only charity, to help the Democrats in Russia and in Ukraine, because if we don't fight evil, evil will also come to us. So we have to support people like Boris Nemtsov, who unfortunately has been killed, many others who are fighting for a democratic Russia.
I hope that this year we have an opportunity to start changes, because this year we have federal elections to the parliament. And I'd like to believe that my party, which Boris Nemtsov and we set up a few years ago, would get a good result, and that we start making changes in our country.
There are still strong democratic forces in Russia who are very optimistic about their chances to succeed. They say don't give up on Russia.
For the time being, I'm not very optimistic. I think the trend right now is not a good one. However, we need to keep insisting that the trend changes, that more freedoms will be livable in Russia without threat to life or liberty in the Russian Federation, particularly with a view to the upcoming elections in September.
Nowadays, Putin's politics, it's just against the Europe, the Western countries, and for my party, we believe that Russia is a part of Europe, and for us, it's very important to cooperate with European political parties, with European civil society. We believe that we live not only in Russia, but in the world.
Russians deserve changes, and if these changes occur, it will be for the benefit of the country. What do we see today in Russia? We see a difficult economic situation. We see people, in poverty. We see businesses which basically do not flourish. We see limited number of SMEs. We see large corporates that are related to President Putin. We see a lot of corruption. All that is at the detriment of Russian society and the detriment of Russian people.
And one very important mechanism that exists today that didn't exist in the Soviet times, although there are many similarities between what we had in the communist times and what we have today. We have political prisoners, we have rigged elections, we have media censorship, but there's one big difference. Because members of the Soviet Politburo, while they were silencing dissent and while they were persecuting their opponents, they did not hold bank accounts in the democratic West, they did not send their children to study in the democratic West, they did not buy properties in the democratic West. The current regime leaders do that. And I think this double standard must end. And there should be targeted personal sanctions against individuals who abuse Russia's international commitments, who violate the human rights of Russian citizens, who plunder the resources of Russian taxpayers. These people should be denied the privilege of traveling to the European Union and using the EU's financial system. And I think this is a very important message, and I hope it is heard here in the European Parliament.
Although it's a sad day, it's a commemoration day today, I would like to say that my father loved life a lot and he loved concerts.
Boris Nemtsov, he was my very close personal friend, so it's an enormous personal loss, which overshadows any kind of political considerations. But even speaking about Russia and Russian politics, he was an absolutely unique person. He was the most effective, the strongest leader of the opposition that we had. He was the symbol for a better, freer, more just and more democratic Russia. He believed in those values. He was not afraid to defend those values, and in the end he gave his life for those values.
Заколотить и подвал воняет, крысы в мавзолее все наглее и злее власть гуляет, на свежих могилах растут куршевели смерть.